Could I ask Erika, please come out? Erika, please come out. Thank you.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life.
This is Erika Kirk, speaking at the memorial for her husband, Charlie Kirk, who was fatally shot during a campus event on September 10th, 2025. Listen to that voice. Listen to that choice of words.
That young man, on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
And you, would you have had the courage to forgive too if you were in Erika Kirk's shoes? Because behind the tears, behind this extraordinary act of forgiveness, there's a much darker story, one that has deeply divided America. On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was shot while giving a lecture at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. The suspected shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, was arrested at the scene and charged with murder. But almost immediately, the case went beyond a simple criminal investigation. It sparked a nationwide storm, a fracture in the country that wasn't just about the crime, but about loyalty, compassion, and politics. People online quickly took sides. Some mocked the tragedy, while others refused to show any sympathy at all. The backlash wasn't limited to social media. Several people lost their jobs for refusing to create memorial graphics honoring Charlie. A teacher was forced to resign after tweeting that she didn't feel the need to publicly show compassion for his death. These incidents reveal how deeply this murder has polarized communities, workplaces, and even classrooms across the country. We can only hope that Erika Kirk's act of forgiveness will bring some peace to the hearts of everyone affected, that it might heal, even a little, some of the anger and pain that this tragedy has left behind. This division set the stage for the very public moments we saw later. The emotional speech by Erika Kirk, the controversial appearance of Donald Trump Jr., and the handshakes between political figures that sparked debates about sincerity versus spectacle.
I'm not widely known for being a sentimental guy. Anyone who's seen me on social media knows I'm far more likely to crack a joke or get myself in trouble for posting some grossly inappropriate memes than I am to shed a tear. I know this because I've even gotten the call from that guy a couple times. You know, Don, you're getting a little aggressive on social media, Don. Relax.
Donald Trump Jr.'s appearance added another layer of complexity. His attempt to emulate his father's style drew mixed reactions online. Some saw it as a heartfelt homage. Others criticized it as a performance seeking attention. It underscored just how politicized and polarizing Charlie's death had become. Even a simple handshake between Trump and Elon Musk during the ceremony became a talking point. Some hailed it as a sign of reconciliation. Others saw it as a staged photo op.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Secretary Pete Hegseth.
But last week, when I received word that Charlie, who was like a little brother to me, had been assassinated, I was truly devastated. We all were. And we're here today to celebrate the way he lived his life and to remember the way he changed so many of ours. So I want to start where I know Charlie would want me to, with what was most important to him, and that was his relationship with Christ. To say Charlie knew more about the Bible than me is an understatement, folks. It's like saying Donald Trump knows more about being president than Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris. No kidding. But when Charlie was asked in an interview how he'd want to be remembered, he said, "I want to be remembered for my courage, for my faith." And let me tell you guys, those were not empty words. Last week, Charlie joined a long line of courageous men and women who were martyred for what they believe. According to the book of Acts, the first martyr in the early Christian church was Stephen, who was stoned to death. And as Stephen was being killed, he said, "Behold, I see the heavens opened and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God." Now, there are many times in the Bible where Jesus is seated at the right hand of God, but this is the only time he's seen standing. And while the Bible isn't explicit about this, I like to think Jesus was standing to welcome Stephen, the courageous martyr, into heaven. And today that gives me great comfort, because 11 days ago, as a cowardly assassin crawled on his stomach to end Charlie's life on earth, I'm betting Charlie saw the Son of God standing tall to welcome him home. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the greatest treasures of Charlie's heart: his beautiful wife, Erika, and his two precious children. To watch Charlie with his family, the joy on his face, the devotion in his eyes, was to see the gospel lived out. And for me, it was inspiring. And now, in the face of unthinkable loss, Erika has shown extraordinary courage, not only as a mother, but in stepping forward to carry on Charlie's mission as the CEO of Turning Point USA. Charlie always brought out the best in all of us. When Charlie first said to me during the 2016 campaign, "Hey, let's start doing events on college campuses," I was like, whoa, seriously? Come on, man. We've given up on that. We're going to let those kids grow up, and we'll get them when they start paying taxes.
In the Trump family, you can really see how much they love to talk, don't you think? Donald Trump Jr. completely dominated the stage during his appearance, stringing sentence after sentence, without really letting the moment breathe. His style shows just how some speakers, even unintentionally, can shift attention away from a tribute and turn it toward their own words. But despite all the controversy and divisions surrounding Charlie's murder, Erika Kirk's act remains profoundly symbolic. Forgiving in such extreme circumstances is not something everyone could do. It takes enormous inner strength, a capacity to set aside anger, grief, and frustration in favor of peace and reconciliation. Few of us could face the choice between holding onto our pain or extending a hand to someone involved, even indirectly, in such a tragedy. This act of forgiveness carries an impact far beyond the individual. It sends a powerful message to the community and the public. Even in the most tragic situations, it's possible to choose empathy over hatred. Everyone affected by this event directly or indirectly, can find an example of emotional courage here. It reminds us that we can honor the memory of a loved one not only through grief, but also through positive actions that strengthen our humanity. Forgiveness does not lessen the severity of the crime or the pain felt. It simply transforms that pain into energy that can heal, inspire, and bring people together. In a context where social and political polarization can feel insurmountable, Erika's gesture shows that compassion can be a catalyst for healing. It invites us to rise above grudges, snap judgments, and divisions to focus on what unites us, the willingness to see a little light even in the darkest moments. Her choice becomes an example for all of us. In the face of injustice or tragedy, we always have some control over our emotional response, and that control can profoundly change our lives and the lives of those around us. This moment is also educational. It teaches us that resilience isn't measured solely by physical strength or visible achievements. It's also measured by our ability to overcome negative emotions, to transform pain into understanding, and to create space where dialogue and reconciliation are possible. Erika's forgiveness opens a window into human psychology, how we choose to process trauma, how we can remain in control of our emotions, and how our actions can influence hundreds, even thousands, of people around us. Finally, this act reminds us that there is always potential for light, even after the darkest loss. Charlie's memory can become a source of inspiration rather than only a symbol of tragedy. By choosing forgiveness, Erika shows us that emotional justice and personal healing are as important as legal justice. And hopefully, this act of forgiveness will bring peace to the hearts of everyone touched by this story, offering comfort and a reminder that even after horror, there's always a path toward redemption and inner peace. If this story touched you or made you think about the power of forgiveness, leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Would you have had the courage to forgive in Erika's place? Let us know where you're watching from and what lessons you take from this story. Don't forget to like this video if you found it meaningful, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth analyses of real-life events, human psychology, and stories that challenge the way we think about justice and compassion. Hit the bell so you never miss an episode, and remember, even in the darkest stories, there's always something to learn about humanity.